Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about a simple yet deeper dive on the intricacies of the 2-1-2 press. This press, when run correctly, is my second favorite form of pressing in general. The reason for this is I believe it constricts space fairly well while being fairly risk averse on the other end. We're going to use 6 clips to really highlight the point I'm trying to make today. 3 where you had a positive outcome and 3 where we had a negative outcome, and what led to each of those and how I would have tried to instruct differently if I was coaching this team. Let's go. As with all methods or presses or defenses, there are always going to be different styles of running it. However, the style I believe is most effective for a 2-1-2 is to try and essentially get the traps in the middle zones. I'm going to highlight them right. What this does is this allows us to essentially shrink the court and make it so you have longer passes for the offensive players and shorter grounds to cover for the defense while also maintaining this trap. So here we can see in these red triangles, this is the area where we really want the defense or the offense to go so that we can collapse that area and make it so they're playing with a shorter amount of space and we are able to cover that ground more effectively with 5 players. This orange area is the place we do not want the pass to go. The reason for that is because that represents the middle. This is where we get beat. We do not want the pass to go here. Green area is fine. It can go back. That's fine. It just simply delays them getting to this final area. As with all things, it is crucial that we think first in terms of not giving up bad things and then looking on what to capitalize on what the offense provides. So the first thing, and the reason I picked this as clip number 1, is because it doesn't give up any bad passes. Yes, we do not get the trap, we do not get the turnover, but we are able to transition to our man-to-man defense. We do not give up a dunk at the rim. That is priority number 1 in all defensive formats. So to summarize it in 4 rules that I really harp on with kids I coach is 1, no middle. The ball does not go to the middle. Ball going to the middle means you have options, you can create other things. 2 is you do not have fouls. If you get into foul trouble because of your press, you really limit what you're able to do, and you give them efficient shots once you get into the bonus. No fouls. 3, you force them into these zones. We want these red zones that you can see on the court right now. Okay? That is where we want the defense to go. Green is okay, that's fine, go back, delay the inevitable. Orange is also where we do not want the ball to go. Okay? We want to force them to red. Don't allow them to pass to orange. They can go back to green, that's fine. And finally, no layups, no dunks, or else you get benched immediately, honestly. Okay? Cannot give up easy shots. Cannot do it. Our second clip. This looks at, in particular, a huge misconception that the majority of players and coaches have when trapping on defense. Whenever you have a press and your end goal is to trap, create 2 on the ball, everyone instinctively thinks the trap is where the error happens. You get 0 who has the ball, you're going to trap him or whoever it is, and you're going to get it to turn it over. That is never the end goal. The end goal is to force a bad pass, always. There's 2 things that happen because you have this mentality. 1 is you limit a lot of fouls. Okay? When players aren't thinking, I need to get the steal right now, you stop reaching in. 2, you change the mentality into it where everyone has to be aware. Instead of just thinking, oh, I'm on the ball, I'm the one that's going to get this trap, you are looking for a bad pass here, bad pass here, bad pass here. And these hands are active because you're not thinking about going for the steal with the ball. You're trying to put your hands in the passing lanes to get a deflection. And this creates so many more turnovers in the long run. Simply thinking about it, you're trying to create a mistake on the pass instead of trying to get a steal when they pick the ball up. And our third clip highlights another key impact. While we always want to force them into these zones that are important, it is super crucial we make the offense feel like they are in a hurry. So we have to ball pressure. Sometimes it's just steals on its own, but more importantly, it makes them feel like they have to rush decisions. And when you have to make rush decisions, you make bad decisions. Okay, so in my opinion, 22 should be up, forcing them to this direction, and in his face. That way you're just a little bit rushed. Make them uncomfortable. Uncomfortable people make bad decisions. That's just the reality. Okay? So he's getting closer to him now. As soon as you force them to start sprinting a little bit, you know you're doing the right thing. Okay? Just stay right there, keep the ball pressure on them, and mistakes occur. Ideally, in this situation, I would have said this top player, instead of being on the sideline right here, I would have had him be in the middle, and then this player is the one that's actually going to come trap as well. But again, this is slightly different fundamental philosophy than I would have if I was coaching. But the important concept of ball pressure remains the same. Now we move to 3 examples that I think it was run poorly, and we're discussing why it was run poorly in each of those examples. So this is Brian's from the most recent March Madness. So the first thing I'm not a fan of is I don't like having 2 players up here if there's only 1 player up here, 2 defenders and 1 offensive player. I do not like that because it means they have a numbers advantage back here. So the first thing is I always have one of the players go up and you're the one that's directing them to this zone that we saw down here. The other player is dropping back so you can prevent these long passes over the top. Okay, so that being said, we gave up this long pass. All right, once we have this long pass, what's the zone we want? Right here. This is the zone, okay? This is green light. You want to go get this trap. This is absolutely the one that we're looking for, okay? Especially with somebody that's probably not their point guard. That is a win-win. So for this, who has what position? One of the key things is they can't go backwards, okay? We need to make it so they can't go this way and they can't go this way. Okay, so we gotta have one person take away the sideline, one person take away the middle. The only person that can realistically get to the sideline is this number 3. Okay, so he's got to get to the sideline, and this player has to get down here to get to take away the middle, and then you force the mistakes because of that. Okay, so we got 3. What does 3 do? Okay, 1, both feet in the air. Both feet in the air means bad things. Okay, you can't move. It's not good. 24, all he does is goes right around him because this player was a little too overambitious, getting close to the ball instead of doing his job and taking away the sideline to begin with. Okay, so the reason why they were able to break this press is just because 3 left his feet, got out of position, and that's all it takes. And that's why you have to have 5 players that are so cerebral. A lot of coaches and players think that you just simply need to be athletes. No, you got to be smart in when you choose to go to the trap, where you're at when they're trapping. All of these things are so crucial for you to have intelligent awareness on the basketball court. And so you have to make sure you coach that in practice a lot. So we see this next clip. This is clip number 5. There was a mistake that occurred. Let's try and figure out what it is. This was rule number 1. Rule number 1 is no middle. Okay, this is both in the pass and the dribble. You cannot get beat to the middle. Why is that? Because you can't get them to the zone. Once they get in the middle, there's no way to get them back outside to this zone. They have all their options. They can pass wherever they want. Okay, so this defender right here, if we rerun this, as soon as this player has the ball, your thought is not, I'm guarding this guy. It's, I'm forcing him this direction to get him to go to this area. If you get beat to the inside, okay, you let down the whole defense. Okay, so you can see his body is positioned that way. However, he's just a little too off balance, a little too low, and because of that, the quick ball handlers are going to be able to go to the inside, and he turns the hips and he's able to get to the inside. And you can see that the defense kind of flustered, like they're not sure what to do. Who do I engage with? Who do I not engage with? This player's in a difficult situation. It puts a lot of pressure on the defense, which is why you cannot get beat to the middle. Passing or dribbling, you cannot do it. And then we get to our final clip. This is clip number 6. Again, we know a mistake occurred. So first off, what is 32 doing that I hate right now? Okay, he is encouraging him to go to the middle. Okay, that's the first mistake. Do not like it. Have somebody engaged so the other defender can go back. Allow them to pass it back and forth up here. You don't care about that. They're going to get to the danger zone essentially eventually. Okay? So ultimately they do end up passing to the area that you want. So this is the area that you want ultimately for the trap. 3 is going to close, 5 is going to close. What is 3's job? Take away the sideline. Get up to the sideline. 5 is saying don't come back to the middle. And then you're trying to force an error on this pass. Okay? So right here, this is perfect situation. This is exactly what the defense wants. 100%. You're taking away this pass. You're taking away this person's probably safety in a little bit, and this person's probably safety in a little bit as well. Okay? There's no easy pass. You're taking it away. However, where does the turnover happen? The turnover doesn't happen with the trap. It happens with the pass. These 2 players, as he goes back, they go with him and they over pursue again. Number 3, over pursues, allowing for the offensive player to split the defense. This is why situational intelligence is so crucial in any form of pressing, frankly, at any high level of the game. You have to be perfectly aware of where you are and where the opponent is at all times. 3, this little jump right here to try and close a little bit faster doesn't accomplish anything. Go slow, make it so he can't force his way through, and force him to make a difficult pass. Difficult passes was what leads to turnovers. Okay? Not this jumping to try and get closer to the trap right here and getting beat down the middle. Absolutely cannot happen if you're the defense. Cannot happen. So in summary, the 2-1-2 that we saw 6 examples of, the 4 rules that I highlight every single time with my kids every year, essentially every day of practice the first 3 weeks. No middle, no fouls, force them to these zones, the triangles, and no layups, no dunks. You follow those rules, you'll get a lot of turnovers at the lower levels because they're simply not used to making passes under difficult situations. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like and subscribe. I will definitely be doing more nuanced, more high-level ones on other presses in the future. I also did one about pressing in general and why it works at the lower levels and not so much at the higher levels. Feel free to check that out right here. But most importantly, have a blessed rest of your day.